Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Slow English Stories. I am so happy you are here today. Today, we are going to practice English in a very powerful way. We will use the shadowing technique. Have you heard of it before? It is a simple but amazing method to improve your pronunciation, your rhythm, and your speaking confidence. How to use this video. In this video, I will tell you a long and beautiful story. Listen carefully to each sentence, then pause the video and say the sentence out loud. Copy my voice, copy my speed, copy my feeling. You are my shadow. If you do this every day, your English will become strong and clear. Are you ready? Let's dive into our story, The Singapore Gift. Part 1. The Big News. My name is Anna. I am 27 years old. I live in a beautiful house with my parents in Sri Lanka. I work in a large software company in the city. I love my job very much. Every morning I wake up at 6 a.m. and prepare for work. I am a very hard worker. I never arrive late to the office. I finish all my tasks on time. My manager, Mr. Silva, is very happy with me. One Monday morning, Mr. Silva called me into his private office. My heart was beating fast. I thought, did I make a mistake? But he smiled at me kindly. He said, Anna, you have been working very hard. We have a very important business meeting in Singapore next week. You are selected to represent our company. I was shocked. I sat there for a moment and asked, Are you sure, sir? Me? He laughed and said, Yes, Anna, you deserve it. You are one of our best employees. I felt so proud and happy. This was going to be my first trip outside of my country. I was going to see the world. I ran home that evening and told my parents. They were so happy. My mother even cried a little bit because she was so proud. I spent the whole week getting ready. I packed my best professional clothes. I checked my passport 5 times to make sure it was in my bag. Finally, the day of the flight arrived. At the airport, the hall was busy and noisy. People were running everywhere. While I was standing in the long line for check-in, something strange happened. A woman in front of me accidentally dropped her large bag. Papers, pens, and books flew everywhere on the floor. I quickly knelt down to help her collect them. She looked at me and said, Thank you so much, dear. But then she stopped. She looked at my face very carefully. Her eyes grew wide. She asked, Are you Anna? Anna Pereira? I was very confused. Yes, I am, but how do you know my name? I asked. She smiled a big, beautiful smile. I used to be your primary school teacher. Don't you remember Miss Harini? I looked at her eyes and suddenly I remembered. Oh my God, Miss Harini! You taught me math when I was 10 years old. We both laughed and she hugged me tightly. She told me she was living in Canada now and was going to Singapore for a big seminar. We talked for 20 minutes and exchanged phone numbers. What a small world. The flight to Singapore was long but exciting. I sat near the window. I watched the clouds and the blue ocean below. I felt a little nervous about the meeting, but mostly I was excited. When I landed in Singapore, I was amazed. Changi Airport was like a palace. There were gardens and even a waterfall inside the airport. I took a taxi to my hotel. The driver was very friendly. He spoke English with a funny, rhythmic accent. He told me about the best places to eat spicy food. At the hotel, I checked in and went to my room on the 15th floor. I opened the curtains and gasped. The view was incredible. I could see the tall skyscrapers of the city and the deep blue sea. The next day was the big meeting. I wore a sharp black suit and fixed my hair neatly. I reached the business center exactly on time. I was nervous when I stood up to give my presentation, but I remembered my hard work. I spoke clearly, I shared my ideas. When I finished, everyone in the room clapped their hands. My boss, who was watching online, sent me a message. Great job, Anna. After the meeting ended, I had 2 free days to explore. I was a tourist now. I took a map and went out. I visited the famous Marina Bay Sands. I saw the Merlion statue, half lion, half fish. Then I walked to the gardens by the bay. The giant super trees were beautiful, but while I was looking up at the trees, I didn't see a small stone on the path. I slipped and fell down hard. Ouch, I cried. My ankle was hurting badly. Many people were walking past me, but no one stopped to help me. I tried to stand up, but the pain was too strong. Then a young man ran toward me from across the park. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" he asked in a kind voice. I looked up. He had a camera around his neck. "I think I twisted my ankle," I said, holding my leg. He didn't hesitate. He helped me stand up and lean on him. "My car is nearby. Let's go to a clinic right now," he said. He was very gentle. At the clinic, the doctor checked my foot. The doctor said, "It's just a small sprain. Rest for a day and you will be fine." I looked at the young man and thanked him. "My name is Ruan, and I'm from Sri Lanka too," he said. My jaw dropped. "What? No way! I'm Anna. What a small world." Ruan drove me back to my hotel. On the way, we talked about everything. He told me he moved to Singapore 3 years ago to work as a professional photographer. He also loved to paint in his free time. That evening, he even brought dinner to my hotel room so I didn't have to walk. We ate together and laughed at our shared stories about home. I felt something warm and special in my heart. The next day, my ankle felt much better. I wanted to buy some gifts for my parents. Ruan offered to take me shopping on Orchard Road. The street was full of bright lights and expensive shops. After buying some chocolates and perfume, we walked into a small, quiet art shop in a corner. I was looking at the paintings when I saw something familiar. I stopped and stared. It was a beautiful painting of a small temple. "Wait, this is my village temple in Sri Lanka," I whispered. I asked the shopkeeper, "How did you get this?" The shopkeeper smiled and pointed to Ruan. "This young man is the artist. He painted it." I turned to Ruan, shocked. "You painted this?" He nodded shyly. "I miss my village very much, so I paint it to remember the peace there." At that moment, I knew Ruan was someone very special. He was not just kind, he was a talented soul. That final night, we walked near the Marina Bay. The city lights were reflecting on the dark water like diamonds. We sat on a wooden bench and felt the cool breeze. Ruan turned to me and took my hand. "Anna," he said softly, "I haven't felt this happy in many years. Will you meet me again after this trip?" I looked into his eyes and smiled. "I would love to, Ruan." He leaned in and gently kissed my forehead. It felt like a movie. I returned home 2 days later. When I saw my parents at the airport, they noticed something different. "You look so happy, Anna," my mother said. I told them about the successful meeting, about the beautiful city, and finally, I told them about Ruan. My mother smiled and said, "He sounds like a very good man." Ruan and I talked on the phone every single day. 1 month later, he flew back to Sri Lanka to visit me. He met my family, and they loved his kind heart and his beautiful paintings. 1 year later, we got married in a small, beautiful ceremony near the beach. Miss Harini even flew in from Canada to be there. Now we live together in Singapore. I have a great job here, and Ruan is a famous photographer. Every weekend, we walk by the bay. Every time we pass that wooden bench, we stop. We remember our first talk, the twisted ankle, and the painting of the temple. Did you like the story? Now it is your turn. Go back to the start of the story. Listen and repeat. Practice your English until you feel as confident as Anna.